Hi guys, this is Mama Sue, and I told you I'd show you how to give these baskets a little singe to make them look a little older, and that's what I'm going to do today. Then I'm going to show you how to make the different size containers that we do here. Here's one with flowers. What do I have on there? I have something sitting on there. It doesn't want to sit up. Here's another one. Aren't they cute? Here's this one. Here's the bottle one. This one I like the best, with little flowers. I took a felt pen and started just dabbing some colors on there, and it came out really cute. Once I got the glaze, it kind of made it bleed a little bit, and it just gave her a better look. Okay, well, let's show you how to do this. I'm going to make one just to refresh everybody's memory. What I'm going to need is I'm going to need one of these quilling tools so that I can make my basket. And then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you how to do these. Well, to start with, I'm going to use the big strip of paper, not the quilling paper. Here's the quilling paper right here. That's how thin that is. And here's the paper that I get out of my regular shredder. And then here's one. Wait, maybe I have it. Oh, here we go. Here's one. No, that's not it. Well, anyway, I bought a shredding machine that's a mini shredder on one of my YouTube videos that shows you that you can buy a shredder that makes this size in case you need that. I like it for the top of my containers. Anyway, what you're going to do is you're going to put your quilling tool right over the paper just like that. See how I stuck it in that little plate, that opening there? Then I'm going to turn it. Just turn it, turn it, turn it until I get all the way down. I'm rolling it up as I go. Doesn't have to be perfect because you can smooth it out when you get to the end. That's what I normally do. I just hang on to it and just keep turning my fingers. And then now I'm just going to oops, I shouldn't have taken that off of there. Might make me start over. And yes, oh, no, it's on there. Good. I got lucky. Normally when you pull that out, it won't go back on. But we got lucky. And then I have glue here. And I'm just going to put some glue on this pad of paper so that I have some glue handy. I use these pads of paper for everything. It's a great little tool for me. Then I'm going to take a little bit of glue and just touch right here on the back side. See how I'm just touching just a little bit on the back side? Then I'll grab another paper and I'll put that on here. Now I'm gluing it back side to front side, just like that. And there's your front side showing on the other side. Make sure the back side is up toward you so that you know you're putting it on the way you want your basket to show. Now, you know what? I didn't do that good. I'm going to have to, it didn't hook on there. Well, that's all right. At least we got these two pieces of paper hooked together. Let's try it again. I just got to make sure that I don't get strong and pull that out of there again. Now I've got that on there again. Now I'm going to start twisting it. I got started with my thumb being there. My thumb's kind of holding on to it. And as I twist, it's rolling on there. And I'm holding on to it nice and firm. Now we're getting close to the other paper. Let's see. Here we go. Now we got the other color. Now that looks messy right now, but not to worry because we'll clean it up as we go. Now we've gotten this far. I'm just going to squish that together real good. This is just how to make the basket. I just wanted to make sure I refreshed everybody's mind in case they didn't watch my other videos. Okay, here's a blue one. I'll do this blue one now. I already put some glue on this bottom side here. I'm going to just put it right on top of that. Then I'm going to start rolling it. I got it up there again. A little bit of glue. And another piece of paper. Now I'm going to try something. I'm going to just put this up next to one of these and see if it's the same size. Because I'm going to show you how to do one of these bottles just so, oops, just so you can tell how to put these bottles together. So I thought maybe I'd try it now. Let me see if I got a smaller one in here. I don't see any real small ones. This one might work. As a matter of fact, this one might work really well. I'm going to go one more, and then I'm going to turn it into a bottle. This paper I started to cut in half, so I'm not going to use that one. It'll probably be too hard to get it on there. But anyway, here's my last strip. And let me put it this way because I put the glue on the wrong side again, so I'm just going to put it on this side. If you maybe make a boo-boo and put it on the wrong side, just switch where you're putting it, where you're laying it down. Now, here's my last piece. Let me see if this is big enough. What I do is I take one of these baskets. Normally I make another one, but I noticed I don't have enough stuff up here, and I wanted to get to the singeing so you can see how to antique these. And maybe even put some moss on some of them. But I try to get it as close as I can to the other one. See how you can see it? Oh, well, let me see. See how right in here, here's the lip to this base. And then here's the lip to this base right here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and glue that because I think that's quite a long enough. It's quite big. It will work. And I put a little glue on there just to close that up the rest of the way. I'm just going to turn it with my finger for a minute just to make sure it's sealed good. And then I'm just, with this tool in my hand, I'm just going to push up a little like I'm making that bottle. See how I'm pulling that up? See how that's coming up? See how I'm pulling that up? You're seeing different colors? Yeah, isn't that cute? Now I'm going to pull this bottom down some, but first I'm going to turn this the opposite way and then pull out. See? Now I'm going to start, I'll put my pinky in there. It'll be easier. And I'll start pulling this down and pulling this down. And see how I got it to a nice top? And look at that when I put it together. That's going to be a tall one. I think I'll take off this rim so I can make it look better together. So you can do this with baskets you've already got made and you go, I don't feel like making a whole one. So I'm just going to make 2 baskets and stick them together. And here's that rim. You know how I just stick that rim on last? I normally put 1 thin piece on at the end just to make it look better. Now, this bottle will go right on top of that one perfect. But I don't like how high it is. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to take off part of this. I'm going to pull that out. It just doesn't work. Now, I just pulled that out all the way. See how I pulled that out all the way? I did that on purpose. And I'll show you why. Now I've got a hole in my bottle, which is something I need. I'm going to put glue back on this so that when I push this down in, it has something to adhere to. I'll just push it down with this. So there's no glue on the inside. And I'll just pat it down with this. I don't want the hole any bigger than the stick on this. Look at that. Look how nice that came out. Now this will probably fit on here real nice. See, that'll go on there. And that's going to make a nice one. But I'm going to pull it out just a little bit more because it kind of went in as I worked with it. I want this one to stick out a little bit because I like this paper here. Okay, now I'm going to take my glue just like this. I'm going to go around here just so that it can dry as a nice bottle should. Nice and firm and in the shape I want it to dry in. I'm going to sit it down here for a minute and see if I've got it straight. And that's in pretty good shape. A little bit more on this side. Ah, there it is. Now I'm going to put some on my little finger and just go on the inside here. Well, that's all I need is I got a little glue in there, and I'm happy with that. Well, there's one little place there that looks like there's opening. I'm going to put some glue in there too. Let me grab my brush. Here's my little paintbrush that I use for everything. It's nice to have an everything paintbrush. And I just wipe it out and use it again. I think I've used it 1.5 times. I made myself a polymer stick and stuck just one of these caps on top of it because my paintbrush had broken, and I use it all the time. Now, to put these two pieces together to make the bottle, I'm just going to sit this right on top here. I'm going to put some glue on it just so that the tips adhere together. See, I've made it, it meets perfectly on the other bottle, and we're in pretty good shape. It's pretty close. Let's see how that is shaped there. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit because I think it's a little bit much. A little bit taller than I want it. Oh, that's a better height. Because I want this to be more of a vase. Now you can leave that nozzle that I had to begin on, that part I cut off, you can leave it on if you want to just make it into a jar, or a wine jar or something. But now I'm going to take my big paper. What color do I want? I think I'm going to go with a cow. Now this I'm going to put right in the middle. Do you see where the two pieces meet? Right there. See how they both meet right there? There's the center right there. I'm going to put this right over the center of that. Then I'll put a little bit more glue just on my piece here. Go around it. Go around it. Till I feel happy with how secure it is. I'll see how it's rounding it out a bit. Now I'm going to cut this off. And I'm going to go around it with a thinner piece of paper. Another thing you can do is take plaster of Paris, mix it up with some water, and you can paint the whole jar and turn it into a ceramic vase. Or yeah, a kind of a clay-looking vase. And you can add a little bit of coloring in with your plaster of Paris that'll give it the color that you want. But you'll have to seal it. If you don't seal it, it's not going to stay nice. Good thing to seal it. Now, I'm just checking to see what color I want on there. I kind of like the red. So I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to go with the red. Now I'm putting a little glue on there. Just like that. And I'm going to go around this whole thing with the glue. I'm just going to keep going around to the other side where it came together, just so the seams are in the same place. Where is it? Oh, there. There's where it was. Now I'm going to cut that off. I can use this other half for something else. Now, I like to kind of rub it a little bit. Kind of rounds it out. But you see there, now you've got yourself a nice little jar type thing. If you want to change it up a bit, you can bring it down a little. Let me bring this one down a little bit. I like it. I like to go down a little bit with it on this one. That's a much better shape to me. I like that shape better. Now, here's one that I left the top on. You know how I pulled that up like that? I only took a tiny bit out on that one and made it a bottleneck. And you can make it a longer bottleneck if you want to. You can make this look like it's round with just a long bottleneck coming straight up out of it. You can make it any way you want to make it. Now, what I like to do at this point is I like to take some Mod Podge, and I like to seal the paper all together. 2 reasons for that, because I like the paper to get hard, and I also like the way the glue catches a real nice smoky look when I go to singe it. Catches a nice smoky look, and it's just the way I do it. Now I'm going to leave that one there to dry, but you see how that's going to look nice when it's done. But that's what I do with those. Now if I want handles on them, like these two, after I made the baskets, I'm not done with them because I need to singe them. I put some color in the inside just to darken it up a little bit. I didn't do it to this one. And then I just took a piece of this quilling paper here, and I glued it together maybe 2 times. I folded it over on each other and went one way, and then I folded it over in the other. But look, you can make cute little Easter baskets with that for your dollhouse. And then I'm going to singe those because I want them to have that older look. Because I'm really fond of that look. Because you can put it in so many of your picture things. I mean, your little sceneries that you make. Now, I'm going to get this over here, and I'm going to show you how to singe them. Now that you know how to make a basket, you just stop at 1 when you want to make just one basket. If you want to make a double one, you got to put 2 together and decide how big you want the top. But that's how you do that. It's very simple. Now, this is a tea candle. And this is how I antique my little vases. You see how I got this one darker looking, and then I got this one, how it's got that nice color to it. Well, what I do is I come along and I just hit it on the fire. See that bit of smoke just now when you... I don't know if this one's dry enough yet to do it, but we'll see. I normally have a regular sized candle over here, but never tried it with the tea candles, but I thought I'd try it with you. As a matter of fact, don't do this around your children. Very bad idea. It'll teach them to play with fire, and we don't want any accidents happening. So whenever you're watching this, or you're actually wanting to do it yourself, let the kids go to school, while you're doing this. I mean, you can teach them responsibility, but kids will try things on their own. Just a fair warning. I don't want anybody's kids getting hurt. Now, see how that's getting a chalky look to it? Now that, I like that. That just gave it just enough color to darken it up a bit. And then I've got this, I put a little brown paint on this after I did this. I put a little brown paint. Now you're going to want to take some white glue and seal that. And then later on, after that dries, you're going to want to put either your diamond glaze or your water-based polyurethane. That's the cheapest way to go, the polyurethane. And then there's always Mod Podge. You can always put whichever kind of Mod Podge you want to put on it. These make great Easter baskets for your dollhouse. You could have one for each of the kids, hiding at Easter. You know, and it's easy to make eggs with just little pieces of clay. Isn't that adorable? Let's see if you can see that. See how cute that came out. Now when that dries, that's going to look really nice. Another thing, if you want to make shredded paper, oh, you can use just about anything for that. I've got, well, this is just regular paper. Let me see if this works. But normally I like to use a really thin paper like, or you, well, you can't use the Easter egg stuff because it's too thick. I mean, it's too, it just doesn't work well. But you're going to want to make this darker if you decide to use something like this for grass. What you'll do is you'll just cut off pieces like this. Just little thin, well, if you can get a hold of it. You want to cut yourself some little pieces off. See how I'm cutting little thin pieces off? And then you're going to just like wad these up a little bit. See how I'm just wadding that up just into a little something. And you can start putting it in there as Easter egg wrap. Not the wrap, the filling that you put in there, that plastic stuff. You can use some kind of little thin plastic if you like. But once you get enough in there, it's going to look like Easter egg stuff. Let me see if I can get enough in there. I just don't have the right paper to show you today. But it looks really adorable if you get it in there. But I like the baskets by themselves also. You're going to want to hit this washcloth. Pick those up so that you can wad them a little bit. You just want to crunch them up a little bit. You know, because if you crunch it up a little bit, the effects will look a little more. See how that's starting to look Eastery, like Easter paper? Let me get a little bit more for you, because it needs more. I want you to get the full effect. Or close to it. Let me wet my fingers so that I can wad this up a little bit. I'm picking up the paper with my little wetty fingers. And I'm wadding it up a little bit just to make it a little crinkly, like that plastic paper that you put in baskets. Now that's starting to get better, but it just gives you an idea of something that you might want to try. Now here's the smaller one. Right over. Oh, here it is. I thought I lost it there for a second. Now I'm going to just hit that basket. Ooh, this one's taking on color real quick. Oop, I just put it out. Oh, here's my regular candle. Let me get it. I got a regular candle here too. Then I won't have to worry about it going out on me. Let me pull this up so that you can see this a little better. Now I'm going along. Ooh, that took on a lot that time. I got to be careful. This one, bigger your candle. The tea candles don't work as well. Told you it was the first time I used that tea candle. I normally use regular candles. But see how nicely that got browned up? Now I'm going to want to do it on this too because I didn't do anything special to this. I didn't put any kind of paint or anything. So I'm just going to give it some little dashes of soot. Well, that looks pretty good. Okay, now this one's ready to put glue on. Then the little cute basket. You can wipe off those little edges that, and you won't smell the singe because, and then you're going to want to paint the inside whatever color you want to paint it. You want to do that before you seal the paint. Now, I don't have, my fingers aren't that big, aren't that small, so I'm just going to go inside the basket with my tool, putting some glue in there. And I'm going to do the same thing on the inside of the handle. And then I'll just take my little finger and go back and forth like this. It doesn't take a lot. It's pretty easy to do. And this seals that singe down in place so that you don't have to worry about it coming off. Because it could wear off if you didn't get some kind of seal on there. You could do it with your sealant if you want to, your glaze or your Mod Podge or whatever. But I like doing it this way first. And because look at these. These are just adorable. Aren't those cute? Let me put this in here because I don't have a full basket. I'll put it in this little one and see what it looks like in this little one. Another thing you can use, and I've got it right here, I'm going to show you. Now, if you're going to put something like this in these little baskets, you're not going to have to cut very much in these little ones. Look how cute that looks with the little, right, can you see it? See how it looks like it's got some of that green in there? If you used a little darker green, you'd have that nice color, but it comes in all different colors. Now, I'm not going to leave it, well, I'll leave it in there for now. But I wanted to show you on this one, I'm going to put some of my, what is this called? I forget what this is called, but it's in your flower department. It's like, it's got brown on the bottom and white on the top. I think peat moss or something like that. But anyway, you can use this in these too. And this looks pretty good in these. Especially after you singe the basket. It really looks cool. I'm getting some in there right now. I'm going to show you. And there we go. I've got a little bit in there. Doesn't that look cute in there? You know, it just looks like antique-y. It just gives you a little country look. Another thing you can do is you can fold little pieces of fabric up like towels in little circles and stuff and put them in the basket and sit them in the bathroom or something. But I think it looks cute with just that little bit of peat moss in there. Hey, if you guys know what that's called, please put that on there because my bag had a big hole and I stuck it in a plastic bag. Now I don't have a name for you. Yeah, but I just push it in. You know, you don't have to. I don't normally go with paper, but that's kind of cute if you want it to look kitty. Now that's that one. Now let's show you some of these others. Now, if you'll notice, on this I singed this one pretty good on the bottom. Oh wait, let's move this out of the way so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to put these up here. Now on this one you'll see that I singed it really good on this bottom part. And then I left it a little more clear on the top part. Then when I sealed it, I sealed this one with the water-based polyurethane. And see how hard that is? It's not going anywhere. It's very hard. Now here's another one I did. I like the colors in this one, so I didn't want to singe it much. I just singed it a little bit because I like the colors. And then I painted the inside of the basket. This one I painted with just a felt pen, a purple felt pen. This one I didn't do much with, except hit a little gold on the edges. And I thought that was nice. See how nice and hard those are? Now here's some I did something different with. Just so that they would be heavier. So if I put a plant in them, it wouldn't like knock over easy. I took a little bit of plaster of Paris with water, and I added a little bit of brown paint into it, and I brushed it in the bottom. And I brought it up to about here, as you can see. See how high it is in there? And then and then after it dried, and it doesn't take long, 5-10 minutes, this stuff's dry. Then I coated it with some water-based polyurethane. Put a couple coats, and it just like made them look good even without the other stuff. And then I put a little bit of gold around the edge. This one I put a band of black around it and put gold around the edge. And then the gold I touched up on here a little bit, but that's a neat basket. That'd be a cool one to use for an Easter basket also, because it's oblong. This one I liked because I liked the zebra print that I had put in this area. But it looked really cool the way that came out. Can you see that? See how nice that came out? Now these look wonderful in your sceneries when you get done. Now this one here, after I made the whole basket, I didn't like the way it was shaped. So then I took plaster of Paris and I, with some water, and I brushed it on there till I got it thick enough to a shape that I liked. And then as it dried, I just do my little thing here, and just kind of roll it around in my hand until it dried in the shape I wanted it to. So that was kind of interesting too. And then this one I didn't want to add too much to because I thought it looked good just like that. But I did diamond glaze this one. Now diamond glaze is going to be softer. See, I can still bend it. But it's so plasticky with that diamond glaze. It's like almost indestructible unless you take scissors and poke and poke and poke at it. Here's two others that I liked the way the color came out. Now I did singe these a little bit. You can hardly tell, but I singed them a little bit, and then I painted the inside of this one. See, this one has not been painted because the back of my paper was, this was from the paper was wallpaper. Make sure when you're doing it with wallpaper that you use tacky glue because that'll hold it the best. And you'll have to hold it a little bit until it starts to dry on there. You can always use a glue gun, but I don't like to go to that trouble. Now let me get some of these others singed for you so you know what we got. You already know how this turns out. But I wanted to show you something. I like to take, when I'm singeing things, what I like to do is, now this is dried already. This is that one we made in the beginning. Now I'm going to put a little singe on it. Now I'm just doing a little at a time. But I'm holding on to it with my tweezers. I think it's best to use tweezers. So see how nice that's coming out? So that you don't burn yourself. You want to keep yourself safe. But you want to get that inexpensive antiquing job on there. It just makes them look older. Look how much older that looks. It doesn't look burned. It just looks older. I need a little bit burned here. Now I'm going to hit it with that white glue. The white glue tames down the black and it evens it out also. So it's going to come out nice. Now when you're done, you'll use your sealer on it, whichever one you decide to go with. Also, when I do it and it's got a big opening like that, I'll take black paint and paint just the inside part there. Or I'll take a felt pen and let me show you. I'm just going to take a felt pen to it. Let me get it up here where you can see. Now see how this felt pen, I'm just taking it around the edge. I probably should have used brown, but this one was handy. Now I'm just going in there. And I normally do it before I put that glue on there and before I singe it. But see how that's coming out? Now you can't really see in there now. Put my lid on my pan. And that's how nice that looks afterwards. It's just got, it just gives it a nice bottle look. Now that looks really cute. Now that's how I made those bottles. Now when you put your glaze on there, you're not going to see all this gluey little sticky pieces, and that'll just make it look more authentic and more just like an older bottle. Now I have some, where did they go? Here they are. I have some here I wanted to show you. Now I've already painted on the inside. Like I told you, I like to do the inside first because the candle doesn't get inside very easy without burning yourself. So I like to do it like this. Now if it's this big, I just put it up to the candle. When they're smaller pieces, I don't want to get burned. Now I'm just hitting that on there. Now see how that just hit? Just got a little singe there. This is how I age them up a bit. And this is a cheaper way of doing it. You don't have to have anything to antique it. You don't have to have the right color paper. You can use magazines when you do it this way. Now see there? That's about right. I don't want more. Excuse me, I don't want too much more than that. Just a second. I'll be right with you. I have to put my allergy. I have to put a piece of ginger in my mouth to make me stop coughing. Works great. Just thought I'd tell you that just in case. This is the first year I've ever had allergies. Crazy. There you go. That one is done. Get that up close to you. Excuse me. But anyway, on this one, I'd still like to go around that edge. So I'm going to grab, just so you know the differences and what you got to do. I don't have a brown one out. But you know what? I'm going to grab my gold one. This is a gold Sharpie paint pen. And these things are really cool. I'm going to take it and just go right around this edge. Just to hide some of my imperfections. It's nice when you have a whole bunch made ahead and then you do it. Because then you got these pots ready whenever you've got something special you want to make. See how that's got that nice little gold strip around it? Let me get close to you so you can get this candle out of my way. So you can see it. But look how that turned out. Now you can make it with a little, I'm going to put a little shine on this one. But that's how nice they come out. They come out really, see there? Now it came in clear for you. Now when you get a little glaze on that, that is going to be so pretty. It's going to be a nice one. Now here's a really bright one. I already, what I did is I took a little bit of coffee, liquid coffee, and I put it in a little bit of white glue with some water. And then I just mixed it up like that. Now, I didn't put very much. I just coffee, and it gave it that little bit of a brown tone. And I think that's kind of cool. Now, there's another thing I like to do to these, and I'm going to do it to this one just so that you can see what I do. Because it's really kind of cool. And I'll need my moss for that. It's right here. I made my own moss. I mean, my turf. I have this green turf. Now, I bought a bag that I got at a yard sale. And I figured I could make this myself. So I went down to Walmart. And I'm going to show you this. Because it looks just like regular turf. See that? Looks like regular turf. Well, this is one of those styrofoam squares that you stick fake flowers in. You cut it, you put it in your pot, you start sticking your fake flowers in it. That's what this is. Now you can always pinch little pieces off of it and use it like that. But this will cost you maybe $1, $2 max for one of those bricks. When you buy one of these bags, it's going to cost you $4 to $8. You know, so, and this is one brick. It made that much. I just thought I'd show you that because that is a big money saver right there. Now I lost my, I just lost my pot. Showing you that. But that's alright, I'll just grab another one. I'll go with this one. See how that one looks? Now let's first get it over here. Give it a little bit of love. Now see how I'm starting to get brown on there? It looks too brown at first, but don't get too worried because some of it comes off when you're putting the glue on. So I'm not real worried. Now see, I got all the way around that. Added a little bit of soot here and there. I might want a little bit more around that little white area. But not get too carried away. See, with the big ones, you can only hang on to it. But please don't do this around children. You don't want to teach them to do that. And then I'm going to take my glue. I'm running out of glue there. I better put some more. There we go. Now, if that tip gets clogged and you have to cut it off, you can always put your cork in the opposite way. Works good for me. Now, I'm going to rub my glue on there. And it just like really soaks in good. The Mod Podge. This is Mod Podge. It's the Mod Podge that takes a good singe because I put it on, or just meant, no, this is glue. This is not Mod Podge. It's the glue that takes a nice singe. So Mod Podge probably would too because it's pretty close to glue. You know, but I like to use that just for the actual finish if I'm going to use Mod Podge. I normally don't use Mod Podge unless it's just on pots. Now I'm going to let that dry up a little bit, and I'm going to show you how I make it look like an outside pot. Let me get my washcloth. Keep a washcloth around you whenever you're using fire, just to make sure that you don't get burned and have nothing to to help you. Now, I'm going to take one of these in here that I've already done, and I'm just going to add a little moss to it to make it look different. Give it a more outside look. I'll use this one first. I'll use this one. You can use any of them, but I like to make sure I put some around the bottom, because you always get moss growing down there around the bottom, and sometimes right under the lip. And then I'm going to take some of my homemade turf. I'm just going to rub it on there. Yeah. Look how it's starting to age it up. I put that moss on there. Starting to age it up. We get a little more on here. And a little of my coating. Look how much better that pot's looking. It's looking like an outside pot now. Now, I don't want that going all the way around. I just want it here and there. Like, I'm going to put this piece of it down lower, just to show it growing in a different place. Just like this. I'll see, I've just got that coming down a little bit. Yeah, but anyway, now I'm going to... Oh, that's all there is to that. And I've got that looking like... Well, I just meant I want some right here, too. I'm going to put it right here. And then I'm going to grab a little of my homemade turf. And remember, this is the stuff that you poke plants into when you put it in a bowl and you poke into. It's the real soft one that you touch and it makes a mark in it right away. That's the kind I used on here. Now, I blended mine, but you can just pinch it off, or you can squeeze it up, and it'll turn into this fine, mossy stuff. Isn't that cool? Now, there's another thing I do. I've got another video on this. But I make these. These are out of paper also. And I put moss on these, and it just makes a nice outdoor log cabin type thing here. And that's another one I do. Now here's one that you'd want to do for these glass pots that you buy. I go and I singe it a little bit. I want you to see how I singe this. Now see how quick that singes? I don't know if you can see that. But that's how fast that singes. That singed really quick. Now these ones you can only just barely get it through there and it'll singe it. You probably should. I'm used to doing this. You should probably get tweezers out to do this. And I should be showing you with tweezers. I'll get a pair of tweezers just so I can show you the tweezer. See here? And I'm just going in there and getting some black here and there. See? Now it's nice and brown here and there. Now I'm going to take some moss. Put some moss on here. Just to give it that little extra something. Now look how that changes up that pot. Just putting that little bit of moss on there. Let me put my hand behind that. See there? It just makes it a whole different pot. And you can wipe some of that off if you don't like that much on there. But it just gives it a different look. And then here's the one we just did. And we just, this is the one we just darkened with our candle. And I'm going to add a little moss to this just so you can see what happens here. Because I don't think I've shown you with this kind. Now, I told you I like it around the bottom. I can just set it on there. Wipe that off. See how I wipe that off? You don't have to put as much as I put on. But I just, see how that changes it up some? Just gives it a little bit of older look. Let me put some up here and run it down a little. And now this is made out of just that brick that you stick flowers into, the soft brick. Just so that you know that you don't have to spend all that money to buy this stuff. I got a cheaper way to do it. I normally have cheaper ways to do things. I try to use things that we have around the house first. I don't like going out and getting stuff and then never using it. See how I've got that on there. Now see how that's got... Now you can wipe some of that off if you want to. See there? But that makes it just look more like an outdoor pot, a pot that's been sitting outside. Now if I put it in one of my little, I make these little sceneries. And if I put it in one of these sceneries, see how cool that would look in this scenery with a little bit of something on it. Let me stick it in the back and show you. I mean, this one's too big for this scenery, but see how much older and nicer it would look outside? Now, these are all things that you can make very cheaply. You know, these are rocks from an aquarium. The dirt I use there is from old coffee grounds. After I use the coffee, I save the grounds and I just put them in the oven at like 225 and let them dry real good. And then this is a paper basket, like one of them that I showed you how to make today. This one's just, I punched out a whole bunch of leaves and then I dabbed the tips with red paint so that it appeared to be a flower. The roses were made out of a plastic bag that covered my box of waters when I got my waters. And I just used the colorful piece on the box and I was able to make, on the bag, and I was able to make all these flowers. I plan on doing a video on that. And then this was made out of a coffee filter, this little hat. And the fence was just made out of some of those green posts that you stick into your thing that holds your flowers, the green square. These sticks are over in that area, and they have wires on them, and I pulled the wires off, and I just used the sticks and glued them together. You know, and that's how I came up with that. The bottom I made with polymer clay, and then while the polymer clay was wet, I stuck the fence down in it, and then I pulled it out and I cooked it to I cooked the polymer clay to get it hard. And then when it came out of the oven, I stuck the fence down in it with glue. I put some glue in those holes, then I just pushed the fence back down in, and that's how I came up with this. You know, here's another one I made with the other kind of pot. Now this one I didn't put any moss on, but look, if I would have used a mossy one. The mossy one probably would have looked better with my scenery than the one without. I did singe it a little bit, but just having something different on there makes it look like it belongs outside. Flowers are the same thing. I made these with plastic, if you can see that. I have my little green wires. I used the floral wire. Can you see that? I used the floral wire. See, you can see some of the clear part of the bag. I had color and it had clear part of the bag. So you can kind of see it if you're up close enough. And then here's some floral wire I got in that same department. And then here's some floral tape that I stuck over a piece of floral wire just to show you that once you put it on, you can pull it and it'll make the leaf like bend like that. That'll give you a really cool flower. And then you can put like your little paint on there to make it look like the kind of flower you want it to look like. But basically that's how I do the singeing. And I do the same thing when I'm singeing actual flowers, like I singe these flowers, you know, just to give them a different effect. And here's one I did with, this one I did with felt pin. I just went around the edge with felt pin. So if you got children home, put the felt pin around the edge. If it's just you, try it this way. You know, this is more temperamental, but I like the effects of it much better than I do the felt pin. You know, everybody's got their own ideas of, but safety should come first with kids. And then here's one my granddaughter did. It's Barbie size. And I thought it turned out awesome. And then she did this, and then she put a little bit lighter green over the darker green. Or you can buy the light green tape and put it over the darker green. That's what this was made out of, is the darker tape. And then I made this one in a smaller version. If I can get it out of here. Oh, there it is. This one I made in a smaller version because I thought it'd be good for a house plant. See, because it fits really nice on these tables. You know, if I made a little doily and put that plant on it, it'd look really cute in a dollhouse. And then I have, I also, in that one pot, I went down it with a little strip of yellow right down the edge. And I thought that yellow looked really good on there. So there's all different kinds that you can do. It's all up to you. But this is just a cheaper way of doing things. And you come up with a really nice project. And a nice, inexpensive way to play around and make your dollhouse just look beautiful. You know, you can also sell things. You can make up extras and put it on eBay or Etsy or one of those places and just have fun with it. I also have these kind of potters, and I'll even singe these because I don't like the color. Or I'll change the color and then singe it just to make it look older. But I just got that just to try it that way. And anyway, I'm glad you watched the video. I hope you found it to be everything you needed for your aging your pots. And keep watching and I'll get more miniatures on here. But to start with, I wanted to get you off with some pots and I've got some plants online now. I haven't started doing the sceneries yet. I plan on showing you the sceneries too, how to make those. But I was just giving you an idea with this video. And don't forget that you can always make your adorable little baskets. They come out great. They'll be great in a little house. If you want Easter to show up in your dollhouse, there's your baskets. Inexpensive, cheap way to make. And you can do it with magazines. You can just take a magazine page. You don't even need a whole magazine page for one of these because these ones are very little. Anyway, use your home shredder or for the little piece that I showed you to use, that's a quilling paper, the little piece, all you got to do is cut one of your regular shredder pieces in half. Here's a regular shredder piece. If you notice, this is half for whoever hasn't seen any of my videos before. all you got to do is cut one of these in half, and you'll still have that small piece to do your other things. So enjoy yourself and have fun coming up with ideas. Give me some ideas. Let me know what you'd like for me to make for you. And God bless and have a great day.